Today I'm going to be talking about what I think when I hear the word reboot. I recently went on a little jaunt with a friend of mine, Felicia Young, hey girl, and we stumbled upon, we were supposed to have a work meeting, right? And our laptops were out, we were doing the thing, but recently I've started taking up learning about tarot cards, really trying to get connected with my divinity, with my spirituality. And tarot has worked as a medium for me to visualize kind of what I'm already thinking and strengthen my intuition by seeing it physically, because I need to see it, I need to feel the thing. That's how I learn. That's why math was like really hard in high school. But anyways, so we were playing with some cards, I was reading some cards, and we kept getting these really, really, really deep and heavy messages. There was a lot of energy that was passing through us and around us, and to the point that we couldn't ignore it. Almost everything seemed to be a sign, like it is, but even more aggressively so at that point. So we were like, yo, maybe we should chill on this work thing and go for a walk. So we went for a walk, and we visited this little store. It's hidden kind of off-white, where the fairies live. Anyone? Has anyone heard of that? Yeah, right? I was like, she's like, we're gonna go to where the fairies live. I was like, okay, yeah. So my home, let's do that. And so we went, and we were speaking about community and building community, and how we somehow were drawn to each other, and what that feeling was, trying to unpack it. And she said something along the lines of, in order to remember, we have to remember. And I was like, girl, what that mean? I'm deep, but like, and so, but she spoke of kind of how, and what I took from it was the literal trash can that was 2016, kind of how it felt like a dismemberment. Everything was being ripped from you somehow, or these forces that kept making things happen without you kind of being involved or having control. I felt really powerless in 2016. I felt like a lot of the stories I was being told, a lot of the truths that were being uprooted that I knew in my gut were now just being thrown in my face. And so that did feel like a bit of a dismemberment. And so when we were thinking about the different steps that it takes to truly build family, to truly build community, I kind of thought about it. I had to dissect it into three parts with all their little categories within it, but remembering. So remembering in the true sense of that word, remembering where we've been, remembering where we've come from, remembering our history, remembering what it has taken for us to foster the beliefs that we have and to foster the behaviors that we have. How did we get here? I think was an overwhelming question at December 2016. Like, what? Even though a lot of us knew that those realities were there and were festering, but the rug was just kind of ripped right from under us. And so I believe that everything is a blessing in disguise, a lesson that we can truly pull the good and the beauty out of anything. If we look hard enough. And so in our remembering, I do a lot of work now, thanks to the City and Edmonton Poetry Festival, and this Youth Poet Laureate position with youth in schools, in English classes, creative writing classes. And a lot of the conversations that I'm trying to have now with these younger folks is how did we get here? You may be only 15 years old or 14 years old or 12, but you've lived, you've seen some stuff. let's talk about it. And let's talk about why the things that have happened to you have created the feelings in you that you have about a certain people, or about an idea, or about a religion, or a color, or a type of music. How did we get here? And so I know that in that work, we find some really, really ugly, ugly, ugly things. We find that a lot of our perfect nature has been violated, that these systems and structures that have been imposed on us, we didn't really all too much ask for, but somehow because of where we've grown up and evolution, and that this is how we've gotten here. So being able to accept that and not judge it, and understand it fully, learn the system to move the system and screw the system, but it's knowing first, right? Acknowledgement is the first step to change and to healing, right? And then so we go on to the remembering. So the healing process, the pulling back and the reclaiming of all the things that we had held dear, but were now taken from us in order for them to change. So the thing has been molded and changed, and we know that there's an ugly thing in there, and that we don't identify it, and we don't identify with it, and we don't believe it. So now, how do we heal it? How do we get it out? And how do we find the truth in it, or find the truth elsewhere and replace that? And I think that's where the conversations come in. That's where the conversations with people that you wouldn't really all too much want to have conversations with start. You know, I've been trying to have more conversations and put myself in places that make me feel uncomfortable, not unsafe, but uncomfortable, so that I can stretch and I can move and I can mold myself into truly what I want to be. And so having conversation, figuring out where those ugly things are so that we can heal them, and seeking out like-minded individuals who are working and who want to heal and who want to change. Because change is uncomfortable, but it's kind of inevitable at this point. And I think you know, Spirit's not subtle. God is not subtle. Whatever source you believe in has not been subtle over the last year. And so it's up to us to decide which side of history we want to be on, which side of change and humanity we want to be on, and which side of love we want to be on, right? Because holding hatred for no reason, like that it manifests in your body. You know, it makes you sick, literally. And we don't have time for that anymore, because there's just as much darkness as there's also been incredible bursts of light that have been coming through. A lot of people I've been hearing, oh man, the phrase, you know, I have belief in humanity again. You know, whenever you see those videos on the internet of a gift or kindness has been shown, someone saved someone's life, those things, it's real. You know, that serotonin is real, that we feel when, even just by looking at an act of kindness, or just by witnessing love. And so putting yourself in spaces and around people who would drive you home without you asking, who would come to your house and bring you soup just because you put like a sick emoji on your Twitter. Like people that will step outside themselves willingly to lift you, and then doing it back it's so easy, right? Karma works so beautifully in that way, and that's how family is built. When I talk to these young people about what they believe family to be, is this one student was like, when everyone knows your name, right, and everyone knows where you've been and what you do on the weekends, and a community. What does it feel like when we say community? You know, their school is a community, but where are the spaces where people can be themselves in those spaces? It's really important to find that, because then we can rebuild, right? Then we can work together and share our strengths. I've been talking a lot about, what do you have to offer the revolution? What specific skills and magic do you have? Because we all got the magic. We all got the magic. What specific magic do you have that you can offer this incredible forward-moving energy that's taking us? You can either ride the wave or get swept up. and I'm invested in riding the wave, and I know that I want as many people on the wave with me as possible. So how do we think about healing? Do we know our neighbors' names, right? Do we know our neighbors' names? Do we know what our neighbor does for work? Do we know when they're sick or when they're not? It's simple, simple things that will truly, truly lift us and build us from this beautiful tower that has crumbled. Right? Now we get a chance to really rebuild, and we have to remember where we've been. We have to recognize where we are and trust it, and be kind to yourselves. Be kind, be kind, be kind to yourselves, and surround yourself with people who are kind to you. Not nice. Nice is weak. Kind. Kind is empathy, right? Kind is love. And then what do you have to offer? Action. Activism is active. It does things. When I hear the word inspire, I've been talking to people about what that means. Does it inspire you for like that 30 seconds? Or does it inspire you to take charge of your life, to manifest what you want, to be the alchemist of your own realities? Because we all got it. And I'm not special, right? I got like some sparkly clothes that help me feel that way, but like come through. I can get you some too. Like we can all look this good, okay? I love y'all. Please be good to yourselves. You're magic. I believe in you. Let's go.